Like the T-1000 from Terminator 2, Xbox Series X is seemingly unstoppable when it comes to a lot of the hype, the games that are being announced, and of course, the thing that makes the games look so good, well, the developer environment for the Xbox Series X is being updated behind the scenes, and without so much as a single patch from developers, games are running better. We're also talking about a brand new major Xbox event. We've got all of this information and much, much more in this video. But hey, if you didn't know, my name's Dealer. Thank you for checking out the video. Hit the like button if you end up, keyword if, only if you end up liking this video. All right, maybe hit the share, tell a buddy, tell a family member, all that good stuff. You know the crap I'm gonna say. And of course, shout out to the patrons, the channel memberships, all of you guys that support the channel. You already know. I've said it a million times. I can't say it enough. I promise. I tried. Thank you very much. And by the way, Microsoft sent me a copy of Psychonauts. I've been playing it for a while now, and you know, it's pretty polished. The reviews are out today, and yeah, let me know what your thoughts are of Psychonauts 2. I'll have a full hour and a half of gameplay on tomorrow's RDX podcast. Let's get into the first topic. Xbox Series X, the beast, is getting even better through the gains of Xbox GDK developer environment. Oh yeah, and by the way, there's a certain subset of you in the comments, you're probably pretty easy to spot. You're probably hating on Xbox, talking about it has no games, even though there's like a lot of, there's a lot coming. I feel like a lot of you are going to be shocked. But anyways, this topic's for you.
Hey there, do you or someone you know make fun of Xbox because it has no games?
Yeah, like every day. Of course.
Are you frustrated and live on Twitter and probably don't do much else?
I'm frustrated, yeah.
Plastic and other people?
I do that too.
Are you emphatic that the PS5 is actually performing pretty well at launch, like everyone said it would because of similar tools, while the Xbox is struggling somewhat anyway?
Hell yeah.
What are you?
Yeah, like seriously, yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, well, we've got the perfect video for you.
And we had some issues with this one when it launched, in that there was bizarre glitching all over the place on Series X. But on my playthrough, I actually found it to be super smooth at 60 frames per second. There's barely any drops there. It actually seems to have improved. And yet, I don't know what, Alex, what you make of this. It doesn't look like the game's been updated in like months. So bizarre, right?
I mean, we've heard behind the scenes that at the beginning, especially the console launch, we talked about it back then, and there was, you know, obviously there's controversy about talking about it, but the...
Hold up a second. You know, I like Alex, but, you know, the controversy was that you didn't talk about it, right? Not publicly. While DMs from some of you guys were leaking on Twitter of you talking about it privately. So yeah, you would actually get to the point where you weren't even addressing why Series X was underperforming in the videos, and everyone's like, what the hell's going on? Math still works how it does, right? And it's still more advanced, and it's... That was the issue. So no, you didn't really talk about it. As a matter of fact, I think RDX Podcast was among the first to talk about it, as well as people like Jez Corden. That's important to remember because we were getting called names, and still to this day, idiots don't believe anything about the tools, even though literally developers on screen are talking about the issues with the tools, right? So, you know, just remember, there's a price to getting that information out there early, and it came in the form of 5 months of morons attacking you over things they don't understand. And look, I don't mind being called names, right? It's just being called names over being right or having good information, right? And trying to supply people with that information. So yeah, anyway, I digress.
But the fact that the Series X launched in a development state with its developer SDK and the tools using it, or even the drivers and the internal spec was not actually completely finished almost on a certain level. So actually just by the game development, as the Xbox Series X getting updated over time, could actually see moments where we see games getting performance boosts, because the issue wasn't necessarily the game software itself, but something in the Xbox software development stack. So I wouldn't be surprised completely. I mean, I've heard from other developers that they've seen through Xbox updates that they've seen greater performance, like on the ray tracing side, or a greater the ability to program like an LDS or something like that, like it was Scratch. they've had these things that have been updated over time. So
this dev kit, this GDK, was definitely under mature at launch, as confirmed by multiple developers. And by the way, we got other topics in the video, but I've got to say it. Shout out to everyone that's already heard me say some of this, because there are so many that have not. And another weird faction that just thinks everyone's lying about everything. So just wanted to give you a heads up, and you might want to skip forward a couple minutes if you've heard some of this stuff. But yeah, long story short, I've shown several video interviews of them confirming the fact that, well, bugs were robbing the system of performance from the beginning. Not only that, but they just did not have any optimizations, and some did not have the tools that they would prefer to have. Imagine building a game for a system, and in the middle of that, Microsoft says, hey, that doesn't work anymore. You have to use the GDK. While it's infinitely more capable, you will have to pretty much reprogram most everything, and also there are driver bugs that rob performance. Have fun. Well, things continue to improve for developers, and there are performance gains available to you and I right now, and, well, to pretty much any game that didn't have rock-solid performance, or maybe dynamic res was not pinging out as high as perhaps it should have, while PlayStation 5, according to these same developers, did benefit from very, very familiar tools and a very mature ecosystem on the developer side. Xbox had to start from the ground up, and to make things worse, they had to do it last minute. This did impact developers in the short term negatively, but in the long term, they will benefit with this new GDK developer environment. Yes, it will enable them to bring better features that will save on performance even more so, while adding new technologies that do enhance visuals more than ever. Velocity architecture is definitely one example of something that they really haven't even begun to tap into. Same format shaders. These things really, really do boost performance by substantial numbers, and these are things that they haven't even begun to leverage on the platform. It is only the beginning, and Digital Foundry are already confirming that developer GDK updates and drivers, basically behind the scenes, are making performance better. And I think that's pretty awesome. It's nowhere near where it's going to be, but it is definitely a move in the right direction. And hey, we are already seeing gorgeous games running at great frame rates, 120 FPS on so many titles. I told you guys, it's gonna happen. A lot of you guys in the chat saw it, but a lot of people didn't. It's all part of what I think will be one of the best gaming generations ever, provided publishers don't make free-to-play Assassin's Creed games. Yeah, I've hinted at this long ago, but good job, Ubisoft. You might ruin the entire generation by this logic. Anyway, Halo Infinite. Well, shit, it got delayed. No, it didn't get delayed. The co-op has been delayed. And to people like myself, I'll be honest, this is not... What do you mean? Why am I saying I'll be honest? Why am I saying to people like myself, to anybody who actually wants a finished product, this is not a good thing, right? Especially if Microsoft are telling us they're giving teams time to make interesting characters and worlds that you can only explore by yourself, because there's no co-op. Well, there is. It got delayed, along with Forge, and as a matter of fact, they delayed it so precisely that they have timed it with Season 2 release content. Season 3, Forge. Odd. Yes, it is kind of weird that they've determined when these things will be available exactly when that Season 2 drop is, but who knows? Maybe they'll drop it sooner. Maybe someone will figure something out, or maybe they'll tell us what they decided to put manpower on over co-op, a staple of the Halo franchise, and that's just my opinion, but I feel like that's what really made me fall in love with Halo Combat Evolved. It really was quite the experience, and one you could have with your friends. I thought it was something special, and while this does not prevent me from playing the game whatsoever, I'm not going to sit here and damage control it. And I'll praise them when they deserve it, and of course when something like co-op, something so simple, something that was done 20 years ago on the Xbox original, is not in your 2021 flagship franchise title, I don't understand. When the game is delayed a year, what were you going to ship a year ago? Right? And what feature, what thing did you have people do or build instead of finish Halo co-op? What did you put this on the back burner for? And how are you timing this precisely with these season drops? Also, I'm excited for the game. I was a big proponent of delaying the game because I knew what this game really could be, and it's still limited by its time of development, meaning 2015. Yes, that's about when it started development. And it's still running on a new engine with a whole slew of interesting things happening at the studio, including several different changes and shifts at management. And from what I hear, they weren't exactly clear with people like Phil Spencer on the progress of the game last year, and that's what led to the big debacle with the mountains flying in. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Halo. And also, there is just a little Gamescom event coming up where Microsoft promised to reveal a little bit more about some of their limelight titles, meaning their bigger titles, right? And if you bought a Series X, you probably want to have some software that pushes that box. Gamescom will be having a one-day stream over with Microsoft, and this is how you actually watch the stream. Now, the Gamescom event is actually August 24th, Tuesday, yes, RDX Day at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. British Sandwich Time, 7 p.m. CEST. And if you want to watch this, you can do so on the official Xbox YouTube channel. I'm sure that we will have some topics from this event during RDX, but hey, let me know your thoughts on all of the things in today's videos. I know I'm a bit late on some of this, but my squad, my group of people, the guys in the chat, we deserve to be vindicated when things like this pop up, because we were really the ones to put a magnifying glass on it and say, hey, look, we're hearing about the tools, driver issues robbing performance, as well as a new development environment that is not exactly easy for developers to grasp right now, because, hey, it was during a pandemic and still is, right? So, again, let me know your thoughts. I appreciate you. Seriously, I mean it. Hit the like button if you ended up enjoying this video. And as always, hit the subscribe button, the bell icon. Click those links down below. And hopefully you enjoyed this Psychonauts gameplay on Series X. Been playing it for a couple weeks, I think. And yeah, it's quality. You got to say it. And all the reviews from at least anybody logical are pretty much positive. So, guys, if you get a chance to play Psychonauts 2, or if you have, let me know your thoughts. And if you haven't, what are you most excited for? Do you even give a crap? I mean, that's cool too. Like, I'm not one of those that think you gotta like all the same crap as me. Okay, so again, I'm Dealer. I'll talk to you in the next one.